Last episode we explored the breathtaking Lofoten Islands, and while the scenery was stunning, it was way too hectic for us. This time we're heading to Senja, Norway's hidden gem, to see how it compares. Catching another ferry, a 25-minute crossing over to Vesterålen Island and a little town called Melbu. So we've just arrived on Vesterålen Island and we're just going to follow the little back roads again and just ticky tour.
See what we find.
The Lofoten Islands just over there that we're just at. It's actually really nice to have a break from all the dramatic mountains. I think after a while it just becomes really overwhelming and then it all looks the same. So it's quite nice. I like the contrast of this here, more kind of rolling hills, green, farmland. It's pretty. So we're just crossing this big bridge. But if we turn right here after this bridge, it'll take us back to the Lofoten Islands. We can actually drive back there. We caught the ferry because that meant we get to avoid tunnels. From here, we'll drive north to Andenes and catch a ferry across to Senja. Seeing all the cycle tourists along here, thinking, yeah, we have talked about doing this before by bike. There was too many problems with tunnels, like bikes weren't allowed in. I'm glad we're not. It's nice doing it in a camper van, very comfortable. That Tom and I, we're looking for a car park for the night. This is quite nice here. It's got that, it's a bit ugly, but I rely on my gut instinct a lot, and this doesn't have the vibe. There's a vibe I feel. This doesn't have it. So we're going to go back, we saw a little place back further, rest stop with toilets and stuff, and a lighthouse. And I think you're allowed to stay there, so we're going to go back and have a look at that. Like in the toilet, you can see him. It says it's privacy glass, but it's not. You can actually see him in there. We found ourselves a really nice spot on the beach to settle for the night. Then changed our minds. We're not very good tourists. We found this nice little spot to camp for the night, but then I realised we want to catch a ferry tomorrow, and there's only two. There's one in the morning and one in the evening. So we want to get the morning one because it's going to be sunny tomorrow. We don't want to waste the day. So we're going to go and maybe camp in the ferry port. That's kind of the plan so far. When we arrived in the ferry port, a few other people had the same idea. Good morning, another nice day out there today. Today we're going to Senja. Cute in the ferry port last night. A few people have joined us, but not a bad view out there. Got the coffee on brewing. Mike's making the bed. Try not to show you in his underpants. Don't you just love this sound? Coffee in the morning being poured. Or tinkling in a toilet. Found our Denmark sticker. Gonna put it down next to the Fiat. Weren't there very long, but it played an integral part of our journey. So there's almost 3 lines of traffic here now. There was 1 line when we got here last night. It's our ferry there, the one that's going to take us to Senja. Hour and 40 minutes I think it takes. Looking at all the people here queuing for the ferry, I'm not convinced Senja's going to be less busy than Lofoten, but we'll see. We're actually both saying earlier we're a little bit mountained out anyway. I think we both feel like we'd like to go somewhere a little bit warmer. We're still heading up to the Arctic Ocean, if we can get there, without any long tunnels, and then we'll look at going south from there. As Senja's sharp peaks come into view, there's a sense of crossing into something wilder and more remote. But all the people queuing up to go back on the ferry the other direction, I'm glad we're not going that way. I think we'd be waiting a little while. I guess the good thing about only having 2 ferry crossings a day is it's going to limit the amount of people that are here. We made it onto Senja Island, so I've been excited about this. We'll see how it compares to Lofoten. I don't really like to compare, but it'll be interesting to see. At the moment, it's beautiful. Look at this. Big tunnel coming up. Well, it's 1 kilometre. It's not that big, but it's going through this big mountain.
The roads on Senja are narrow, sometimes barely wide enough for 2 vehicles to pass, but they wind through landscapes so raw and beautiful, it's easy to lose track of everything else.
This is actually the main road on the way through, and it's actually very beautiful. But we're going to be turning off it onto a lesser main road, and the road we're turning onto actually has a lot of tunnels, like 2-kilometre ones. Less frenetic than what Lofoten was. Beautiful frozen lake down here. Big 2-kilometre tunnel coming up through the mountain. It looks imposing. And you get on this side of the tunnel and the lake's not frozen. This is our scenic lunch spot today. I think this is a lunch spot of the trip. It's actually because it's warm enough to keep the door open. This one's 1,200 metres. It looks a bit yucky. I don't know how there's room for 2 people in here. Jeez. And we're out the other side. What a nice view. This tunnel's dripping. Well, that was probably the worst tunnel so far. Just, it was spooky in there, just the way it was narrow, and it was really, I don't know, there was twisty and windy, and I don't think there was even enough room for 2 cars in there. Just met this girl cycling. I don't know, she just cycled through there. Would have been terrifying cycling through there. That's the stuff of my nightmares, that tunnel.
In the middle of nowhere, we found the perfect spot to take an afternoon nap.
We're going exploring again, up a dirt road.
As much as I dislike tunnels, I love how they can feel like portals, transporting you somewhere entirely new. On the other side of this one, we stepped into a world of winter. We just sat there, taking it all in. No rush, no noise, just that rare kind of peace that fills you up and makes you forget everything else.
How's this for a place to wake up, eh? Beautiful. Raining. It's going to rain. It's been raining a bit. Mike's still in bed. Say hello to the people.
Hi.
I got the coffee going. I do all the work around here. I'm kidding, I don't.
We drove down to the village of Husøy. It's a small fishing village that sits on its own island. It was once only accessible by boat, but now it has a causeway connecting it to the mainland.
So that was a quaint little fishing village of Husøy. Wasn't much to do there, so we're just heading on. I think we're just going to continue our journey, heading north up to the Arctic Ocean, and we'll stop and see what we see along the way. We don't really know what's coming up. drive down some side roads, just see what's here. It's just houses mostly, but still very pretty. So that's it, looks like we've finished on Senja. We're going over a big bridge, takes us off Senja. It was pretty awesome here though, I much preferred it to Lofoten just because it's less busy and just as pretty.
Join us in the next episode where we cross briefly into Finland, making our way north towards the Arctic Ocean.